So yeah, this is my module 1 in this course. I'm gonna walk you through some basics that are fundamental for starting. And so the first thing that I would like to give you, brother, is that you need to master what you already have. This is really something that it's a huge leverage point, okay? What I mean by that, you have a body, right? You have your heart beating, your lungs are functioning, your legs, your genitals, your eyes, your brain, your tongue, your hands. You have tons of things that you're not aware that you already have. And you can learn how to use them in a better way that results with a better sex or extended periods of sex. What I mean by that, for example, breathing. We are constantly breathing, right? But we are not aware. I can control my breath, and if I control my breath, I can control my mind, and therefore I can control my ejaculation. So this is one of the things we will walk into this course in the following modules. So basically, I want you to have this mindset that instead of looking at your body in front of the mirror and say, I'm sucking. Change that mindset. You have an amazing body. Even if you don't have six packs, even if you're not like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like even if you're not a very fit guy, a big guy, a tall guy, a handsome guy, doesn't really matter. Accept the fact that you have this body, you have these capacities, you have this mind, and learn how to work with them. Like I'm a skinny guy. I'm not very strong, for example. And my mind is not very strong too. I can get very easily scattered and distracted. Focusing is quite difficult for me, and Tantra requires a lot of focus. So I have to learn how to focus my mind. I have to learn how to be aware of my energy. I have to learn how to be aware of my cock, right? Like we have a cock down there, and we only think about it when we masturbate or when we have sex. But it has such a complicated structure. There are different muscles, the PC muscle, the prostate, the anal muscles, and the lymph channels around them. So there's tons of things that are happening down there that are kind of alien for us. They are like a city in Mongolia or something, like a village in China, like really far concepts and pieces of our body. But we can focus them, understand them, and work with them in a better way. This is much better than trying to sell your car and buy a Ferrari, okay? You can still drive your car in a much better way. Or you have a laptop, and instead of buying a new one, you can optimize it, right? You can maybe format your laptop and it will function better. And even if you have an amazing Ferrari, if you don't know how to drive that car, you can't drive that car, right? You cannot get anywhere because you don't know how to drive. You can't even park your car if you don't know how to do it. And there's a famous funny anecdote that a rich man, he never see a plane in his life before. Imagine someone who has enough money to buy a plane, and he buys a plane, and okay, that's nice, but I want to cut these wings and just use it as a bus. That would be an amazing bus. So this is how we look at our body most of the time. We don't know how it's functioning. Our lungs, our heart, our genitals, they have amazing capacities, and during my journey in Tantra, I explored them. I can give a woman an orgasm even without full erection. How is that possible? Because I give her in pleasure and experience in many different ways in that moment. I'm not saying that, of course, I can also have a full erection and full stimulation and very strong orgasms in that way. But after half an hour, 1 hour, when I'm tired, I can still stimulate her in different ways. Or just think about that. The Taoist masters is an ancient tradition, and sexuality has a very big part in it. Maybe you heard Mantak Chia. He's a sexual Taoist master. And in his books, he talks about that your penis is your sword, but your tongue is your knife. So sometimes you lose your sword, like you use your erection, and then you need to take your second weapon, which is your knife. So you can use your tongue, and you can give her an amazing oral sex. There's so many things that we can do to improve our sex life. So first, be aware of what you're already having, and that's going to be an amazing leverage point for you. And women are the same, by the way. Like, because most men don't know how to have sex, most women don't know how to have good sex as well. So when you learn this kind of deep and long and energetic lovemaking, you can initiate her. You can awaken her into her own world, which she's most women that I met are like this. They learn something from porn or their boyfriends, and when I have an interaction with them, intercourse with them, some of them, maybe most of them, will come and say, I never had such an experience. What are you doing to me? Like, what is this shit, you know? I'm like, this is Tantra. Welcome to Tantra, you know? So you can learn it, and you can have amazing orgasms, you can have amazing experiences. So you become a teacher, and that's very sexy. You become high status. I'm not saying do it in an egoistic way. I'm just saying that it's going to happen naturally if you learn how to understand your body and how to have sex in this way. So, and you need to get rid of those ideas when I just mentioned the pornographic way of having sex, because it's very, very, very limiting. There's, like, imagine there's millions of porn movies, right? On internet today, there are probably millions of them. And I would say I watched quite a lot of them. I'm not addicted. I'm not watching very often, like maybe once a year, just to have some fun for half an hour, 1 hour, and that's it. I'm not addicted at all. I'm not paying for any porn site or something like that, but I know what is porn. And there's always a sequence, right? The girl most often starts with an oral sex while the guy is standing, and she's giving him oral sex. And then after some time, they start penetration. There's sometimes anal penetration, there's sometimes not that one. Like different positions, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 1 minute in different positions. And in the end, again, the man will stand up, and he will give her, she will give him an oral sex, and then he will come into her mouth or her face. This is much or less the same thing, right? It's much or less the same scenario. It's so much structure. There's not much freedom. There's no creativity at all. Real sex is completely different. Very, very different. So get rid of the porn. Delete all those movies from your laptop and from your mind as well. Otherwise, you're going to be very slow in your progress with Tantra. So the essence of Tantric lovemaking, there are many things that you can do physically, like you can prepare your body, your nervous system, your general fitness, and your mind, like meditations and cold exposure and breath work. Like all these things that I'm going to share with you are going to be really helpful. But you can learn also some lover skills, as I just said, like foreplay, touching her in a tender way, massaging her, penetrating in different ways, not just different positions, not just different Kama Sutra sex positions, but in the same position. I'm talking about changing the angle of your penetration, changing the depth of your penetration, holding your erection, like having penetration for a long time, learning, hacking yourself so you don't ejaculate after 5 minutes, but you can keep it up to 15, 20, or pushing your limits. You know, all these things are possible. And you can give her G-spot massaging, and she can have G-spot orgasms. You can give her oral sex. There are tons of things, but there are also energetic aspects, and your meditations, having sex, understanding sex as an experience, orgasming without ejaculation, all these things are making it even deeper and stronger. And one of the very nice things that I want to share with you in the very beginning is this technique I call energetic cock technique. Energetic cock technique. So when you're inside of her, you can do it with closed eyes. It's going to be easier. You'll visualize that your cock is a pillar of light. It's like a crystal, and you are buzzing her with energy. And you can imagine your cock is not just your physical cock, but it's like 1 meter long cock. You're carrying around with you a cock that is 1 meter, or maybe even, you can imagine it's bigger, taller, and it's vibrating with energy. It's vibrating with light, and it's an energetic cock. And when you're inside of her, you're sending this energy to her. You're fucking her with this energetic cock, and if she is sensitive, she can have orgasm just with an extra orgasm just with this. You, like, I have experiences where I'm not moving, by the way. I'm inside of her and I stop. I have erection. It doesn't matter you have erection or not. You can just stop inside of her. Just try this tonight if you have a partner. You can just stop. You don't have to move all the time. You can just stop. Take a deep breath and visualize this and send this energy. Send this masculine energy to her with your intention. Send your love to her. And you can even say, I'm sending you my love. Do you feel it? Feel my love. I sometimes say it during sex, like, feel my heart, feel my love, you know? And these kind of things, they love so much because, I mean, most of our guys, we are like robots, you know, like we learn from porn, we are mechanical, we are not very sensitive. So if you explore these kind of aspects of yourself, and these are more what I call the feminine aspects, you can be an amazing lover. So this is how we start, and try this energetic cock, and you can feel, you can imagine that you're healing her. Of course, you need to accumulate the energy by certain practices like Qigong or some Kundalini yoga or breath work. I'm going to teach some of these techniques with you in the upcoming modules, or cold exposure, improving your fitness, not ejaculating for a long time. This is something that is not very well known. If you don't ejaculate for a certain amount of time and you're having sex, you will have much more magnetism. Say you don't ejaculate for 1 month and you're fucking her, she will feel something really stronger, much stronger. So, of course, this requires you to learn some skills and have some experiences, but these are also valid. Consuming aphrodisiacs will help as well, like overall good level of health, a pure body. I mean, eating pure diet, not eating junk food, like or doing some kind of detoxes, not just juice, fruit juice detoxes. There are many different ways of detoxing your body. They will help tremendously because then you can move the energy. Your lymph channels, your lymph system will be more open and clean, and instead of detoxifying your body all the time, they can carry the energy, so you can have multiple orgasms. So again, my homework for you is next time you're having sex, stop when you're inside of her and do this visualization. Or you can move, you can still, if you can, do the visualization and you can penetrate her moving back and forth. That's also fine. And another key wonderful thing that I want to share with you is the presence. There are many people who are questioning women, and they're asking them, like, what's your number one turn on that you find in a man? Like, is it six packs? Is it a lot of money? Is it like a beard? You know, like, none of them. It's the presence. And what do I mean by presence? Instead of being in your mind, being somewhere thinking about football when you are having sex with her or when you are dating her, just be fully with her. Bring everything that you have and put it on the table and put it on the bed. Like, this is who I am. Love me or not, doesn't matter. I am who I am. And I like you, or I love you. And you don't have to say this. You can just say this with your eyes. You know, like, I desire you. You're sexy. I want to have sex with you. Or I want to open you to God. I want to fuck you open to God. Don't say that by your words, but just with your energy, with your presence. And keep an eye contact. Keep a very strong eye contact, for example. And don't wink, don't blink, for example. Try and see what's happening. I just recently had an experience, and we were sitting on the bed, and I was just desiring her, and she was talking blah 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 something, and I just find myself really aroused because we were both naked. I was looking at her body. We just had sex. We were just having a break, and I was so turned on, and I started looking into her eyes, and she started to turn. She shut up. And she started moaning and touching her body because I was fully present with her. So this was something that was like a big light bulb came in my mind. I said, I have to share this with guys. You know, like, this is very, very important. So get completely present with her. Not hiding anything. You can just ravish her with your eyes. So maybe she's not open. Maybe she's not receptive to you. Maybe she's in a bad mood. Doesn't matter. Also, embrace those negativities in her. And most women crave for that too. If you can, oh, she's feeling so bad. She just want to fight with you. But you're just smiling and, okay, you want to fight with me? I'm ready. But I don't care because I love you and I care for you. I'm not going to fight you. I'm not going to break your heart. You can just play the game of tension and release the tension, but doesn't matter. What matters is you are present in the end of the day. You're present, you're embracing her, and you're receiving her with your whole feminine energy. So I want to tell you a little bit about my what is inner game for me. And like, I was in Japan, I told you, and I was modeling. I wasn't not a professional. I wasn't very successful. Maybe I was getting successful, but then I changed my whole life with these spiritual experiences, and I just stopped modeling, and I just went to complete meditation retreats, and I changed my lifestyle completely. Doesn't matter, but I had some experiences. I was waiting in a dressing room, in the waiting room before a catwalk, and there was this amazing Russian chicks. They are fashion models, okay? And there wasn't so many guys. It was mostly women. And there was this 4 or 5 girls, all Russian. They were just sitting close and just chatting. And they saw me, and like 1 or 2 of them, wow, whoa, come here. You know, like they really liked me, you know? And I was like, fuck, you like me? I don't know what. I was so insecure, you know, like. And what did I do? I, of course, wanted to be with them and socialize with them, but I couldn't. I was shitting my pants, and I just ignored them, playing the cool guy. And I went there and sit next to a Japanese girl. By the way, she was a fashion model too. And she was all over me. Again, I didn't know how to deal with her. I was having so low of confidence because my sex was maximum 2 minutes. Okay, I have this fashion model. I went to her house. I had sex with her. What will happen? I will ejaculate after 2 minutes. And she's so hot, maybe 1 minute, maybe even before that, right? So, and I know that. And in my mind, I'm like, I'm going to be ashamed. It's better I don't do it at all, right? It's kind of, you're just chicken. You're just being a chicken. You just scare and you just run away from the situation. I did it many times. But today, it's not the same. Because I know that a woman can satisfy herself a lot with me. And how do I know that? I have tons of experiences. Because I learned how to last longer. I learned how to hack her pleasure. How to give her more pleasure, even if I ejaculate quickly. You know, like today, even if I come with her very quickly, I can give her a lot of pleasure, foreplay, oral sex, and meanwhile have another erection and have sex again. You know, like there are many different ways you can up your game in the bedroom. Okay, so just believe yourself, trust yourself. If I was like this and I came to this point, you can, and you can even get better than me. All right. So I'll see you in the next module.